the gluten-free diet is kind of on the trend right now. It is trending, and people are wondering, well, should I cut out gluten? Is it bad for me? And just for the average person, gluten isn't bad for you. What it is if you do have that allergy or sensitivity or intolerance to gluten, that is a problem. And one of the things that I really push with my clients and with anyone is if you do think that you have some of these symptoms and you're feeling that maybe gluten is affecting you and your health, the thing you want to do is get tested.
Okay.
You want to talk to your doctor about it and do a simple blood test to be screened for celiac. The reason is if you do have celiac and you just cut out gluten and you start feeling better, what happens is the gut starts to heal, because celiac actually, you have some damage to the villi in your intestinal tract, which is why you're not feeling well, you're not absorbing nutrients as well. When you cut out gluten, it starts to heal. And so if you cut out gluten and then go and do a screen or a test for celiac, it could be falsely negative. And so if it's something that you really need to do, talk to your doctor about it. Make sure you're still eating gluten when you take that test, and then you can find out if celiac is something. And if you have a member of your family that has celiac disease, then you are more likely to have celiac. Same with other digestive disorders.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
so if you're having some of these symptoms and you have a family member with celiac, then it's extra important to make sure that you get that celiac screen and talk to your doctor. Gluten actually is a protein found in wheat, rye, barley, and triticale, which are grains and carbohydrates. So some people start to cut out gluten and they cut out all their carbs. And so that comes with its own issues. We need carbohydrates for energy, so we need to make sure that we have a balanced diet even if you are cutting out gluten. But there isn't necessarily this health benefit to cutting out gluten. Perhaps, but we don't have any evidence or research telling us we should all stop eating gluten. That said, if you're only having wheat-based products throughout the day, you're starting with cereal and then a granola bar, a sandwich, perhaps some granola and yogurt, and then, pasta for dinner, bread.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Okay. You will be missing out on some nutrients and other types of carbohydrates that are great for you, like oatmeal and quinoa, which we're hearing lots about lately, and potatoes, sweet potatoes, squash, other carbohydrate foods.
Yeah.
So obviously balance is something you're going to hear every dietitian always talk about.
Yeah.
But limiting gluten, perhaps for the average person that maybe looks through their diet and says, hey, I do have wheat 5 times a day. Maybe I'm missing something out. Isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just cutting it out doesn't have to be for everybody. One of the things that they see with celiac is that, it used to be a childhood disorder. That's what they thought. And now the average age of diagnosis with celiac is 46.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the average diagnosis is about 12 years.
Yeah.
So, definitely those symptoms and that expression of that disorder is kind of tricky to nail down if you have it or not. That's why it's so important. Some people are kind of dealing with this, like we said before, that kind of like sore tummy, but really there could be something else going on. And I don't want to frighten, everyone and say, everyone thinks that they're celiac, and a lot of people do think they have a gluten intolerance, but it's important just to talk to your doctor about it, talk to a health professional, get screened, and do something about it if it's affecting you. So, some people definitely are born with allergies and intolerances. Some kids grow out of it, and then others we can develop as we age.